one of my beefs with you, Johnny, is that I don't want to be thinking about religion 24/7.
Yeah.
I really don't. Is that bad?
Well, from the standpoint, my standpoint, Charles, is you could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's why I think about it all the time. Mm-hmm. And just with you, I know you now. Mm-hmm. If I didn't know you and you didn't have a face, that'd be one thing. But now all of a sudden we know each other, I tell people all the time, I can't stand to know that Charles Roark will pass from this world, in my view, to an eternal damnation.
You think I'm going to hell?
Yes. Yeah. And I think about it a lot.
Am I going to hell, Dr. Sam?
Are you going to hell? Are you?
I mean,
you answer the question.
I mean, do you guys? How can you guys be equipped with that answer? Do you know if I'm going to hell or not?
Well, only God knows your heart, not me.
Well, Johnny says he knows I'm going to hell.
Well, I'm saying from what the Bible says about your practices and what practices are going to be judged as practices that will condemn you, then I'm saying that the Bible says, yes, you're involved in...
what am I doing wrong?
Well, for one thing, you're not willing to practice the spiritual side of your being. In other words, you're not willing to have a spiritual side.
How do you know that?
Because I know you. You're basically a fleshly individual who goes after the flesh. You're pleasure-oriented, just like a whole segment of our society.
But so then Johnny's saying I'm going to hell. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Then it comes down. What do I think? And I'm not going. I'm not going to judge your heart or where you're at or what's going to happen in your life.
But can another human being do that?
Well, was there a time though, Stan, where you would say, for instance, that you would be determined to minister to Charles as a?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, as a pastor, preacher, when I was pastor and preacher. Well, difference probably between me and John. I mean, I'm sure we have differences and all those kinds of things. But as I went through the church system, I started out as a Lutheran and went into the Baptist youth groups and first time I ever heard.
Stop you there. They don't hate Baptists. Well, y'all hate the doctrine, right?
Right.
That's right.
Right.
But as I went through my journey, I was always willing to learn. And when I was going to Liberty, I sat under Jerry Falwell and the whole Liberty, seminary teachers and everything. And I began to question things. And I just didn't believe things just because you said it was in the Bible. I was going to study it for myself because I felt like I was big enough to study on my own.
That's why we have the commonality right there. Is he's willing to study some things, and he's changed some issues where some of these other guys, Charles, I know they hadn't studied.
Is he going to hell?
Yeah, I'm afraid he is.
Oh my goodness!
First time I met him, I said, "I know you don't think."
And he knows that I'm constantly staying in contact and worried about him and concerned. And
I understand that, and I appreciate anybody that would have concern for me, because I got sort of chewed up by the church system because I was willing to take those stands and I was willing to question everything. And, it just got to the point to where, I was like, I'll just be honest with you, fed up with it.